She smiled under the stadium lights, unaware it would be the last time the world saw her alive. Seconds later, the ocean's most feared predator struck. It was supposed to be another night of wonder, the kind of evening where families laughed, cameras flashed, and the ocean's most majestic predator transformed into a performer, dancing under the glow of stadium lights. Jessica, one of the facility's most beloved trainers, had done this countless times. To the crowd, she was fearless, the woman who could stand just inches from a creature weighing several tons, and somehow make it seem as gentle as a playful puppy. That night, the arena pulsed with excitement. Every seat was filled, the air thick with the mingling scents of popcorn and sea breeze. Children leaned forward in anticipation, clutching the railings, their eyes wide as the deep blue water shimmered beneath the spotlights. The orca, the queen of the ocean, as Jessica liked to call her, was in rare form. She soared out of the water in high arcs, crashing down with splashes that misted the first few rows. Jessica's voice carried commands, and the whale responded as if the two were locked in some silent, ancient language. For a time, it felt like the world had stopped spinning, leaving only the rhythm of splashes and cheers. Then, in an instant, that rhythm broke. The orca slipped beneath the water, something the audience assumed was part of the act. Seconds ticked by. A hush fell over the crowd, a momentary lull before the next grand leap. But when the whale erupted upward, it wasn't with a trick. It was an ambush. The massive jaws closed around Jessica with terrifying speed. Gasps rippled through the stands, followed by screams. The crowd watched in stunned horror as the trainer was yanked into the depths. The water churned violently, white foam thrashing on the surface. Trainers on standby sprinted toward the pool, diving in without hesitation. What followed was a blur of frantic movement. Staff wrestled with the sheer power of the orca, struggling to free Jessica. Seconds stretched into unbearable minutes, everyone feeling heavier than the last. Finally, she was pulled out, limp, pale, and motionless, and laid onto the deck. CPR began instantly. Within moments, paramedics arrived. Jessica was rushed into the back of an ambulance, red lights flashing against the night sky as it tore away toward the hospital. Back in the arena, the stunned audience was ushered out, many still in tears. The magical show had ended in silence. Not long after, whispers began to spread. Reporters camped outside. The hospital claimed inside sources had said she was alive. Social media exploded. Messages of relief and prayers of gratitude flooded every platform. She's safe. She made it. The narrative of tragedy was quickly being replaced by one of survival. But hope is a fragile thing. Hours later, the truth emerged. Behind closed hospital doors, despite relentless efforts, Jessica's injuries had proven too severe. She was gone. The earlier claims had been false. The relief that had swept across the internet dissolved into shock, grief, and anger. In the days that followed, flowers, photos, and handwritten notes covered the gates of the marine park. Strangers wept for a woman they had never met but felt they knew. The smiling trainer whose bond with the ocean, giants, had been both her calling and her fate. Jessica's final moments became the subject of debate, scrutiny, and heartbreak. Some blamed the park. Others blamed the inherent danger of working with such powerful animals. But for those who had been there, who had seen the water turn from sparkling blue to a scene of chaos, the memory was far more personal. What began as a night of magic had ended in tragedy, and it served as a haunting reminder. No matter how deep the bond between human and animal, the wild remains untamed, and the sea never truly gives up its power.